Sweet.
We're live.
We're on. So it's working.
We're live.
Yeah, we're
We're live.
We're live.
We live again on the same day.
on the same day.
We did a show.
We're doing a special. It's not funny. You can stop now.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. Adrian's like, oh my God, what's going on?
We're doing a quick recap of the Electronics Entertainment Expo.
And what is that, Garrett?
Oh my god, I hate all of you. It's E3.
Whoop, whoop. Of which year?
Oh, shut your face.
We're doing a review of 2009.
We are.
Xbox 360 announced.
Not quite, but sure. Anyway. So yeah, we're gonna do a quick little special and just go over what we thought of the conference as a whole and
But
How
that's
we
the
thought-
one.
okay, anyway, and how we thought Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo did.
We're happy you got your opinion in there.
Because they are the ones that matter.
Oh yeah. Should we separate consoles and game companies from winning?
Well, I mean, you know, we're going to talk about, obviously, Battlefront, stuff like that, and that's an EA event. Yeah. I mean,
But we're gonna
That's
talk.
the only good thing about the EA conference because they had an interview with Pele, and I was like, "This is E3.
Wait,
Where are
yeah.
the games?"
guys, wasn't there a sequel to Call of Duty coming out? Crazy.
Oh my
Would have
God.
never expected it.
A new Madden, yay!
It's like-
Sports.
Oh,
Here at
God.
EA, we do sports.
That's not even a good whatever kind of accent that is.
That guy was just saying sports.
Well, I mean, EA is pretty limited, I think, but, you know, whatever.
They're
But
finally coming out with an NBA game though.
what, didn't they used to have NBA Live?
They did, but then it canceled for 4 years because they couldn't match 2K, whatever.
I'm sure all our viewers give care at all about sports and stuff. But
Right, let's
but
get
that's good factual.
To be
stuff.
fair, he's right though.
Adrian.
TK is so much better. I wish they had the NFL
TK,
life.
got it.
2K. I said 2K.
2K.
All right.
Anyway, I wish they had the NFL license because I really miss NFL 2K.
Oh, me too.
Do you guys remember that the Peyton Manning game they had for Xbox, like right when it
NFL
came
Fever?
out? NFL Fever.
You know they're coming out with the Joe Montana football game.
Why?
I don't know. It's so weird.
It sounds like an '80s thing to do.
It does sound 80s.
Joe Montana's football.
I think it's called Joe Montana Football 2015. I think,
Wow, they're gonna be selling it to kids that don't even know who Joe Montana is.
which is sad.
Yeah.
That's a travesty.
That they
against
don't know
all
who he
sports.
is or that this game exists.
Marino Montana, guys.
Both.
I'm playing
Montana.
Marino.
Montana.
I'm sorry, but Joe
Marino.
Montana is, until further notice, the best quarterback ever.
All I gotta say is 5,084 yards kept until just recently, and that was Dan Marino. But we're off topic.
I'm just saying, 3 Super Bowl rings.
I don't care about that.
I bet you everyone else in the world does.
No, that's fine.
Anyway, we're getting into a completely
By
different
that count,
subject.
Brady
We
is
are
better
starting-
than Montana.
He might end up being better in the end.
We are starting a sports podcast, by the way, everyone.
That we are. Ricky and I are going to be starting a sports
Cardo.
podcast coming up soon.
Cardo.
God, shut your face, Ricky.
And we're gonna call it coaches and co-hosts.
The name is subject to change.
All right, we need to get into it. We need to get into
We
it.
need to get into this E3 thing. So we're going to go over what we thought about each of the 3 big companies, Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Would you guys want to start on one particularly, or
I say we talk about the least.
Nintendo?
Yes. I mean, it's sad. I mean, I'm a Nintendo kid.
You are a Nintendo fanboy, but it looked horrendous.
It did. I'm not gonna lie. The first few minutes of it were really cool with Miyamoto and Reggie, the president of Nintendo of America, were dressed up as Muppets, and then they transformed into Star Fox characters. That was cool. And then after that, I was completely bored for the rest of the presentation. The Star Fox presentation was cool. It kind of looks like a GameCube game, though.
I mean, it's called Star Fox Zero. Maybe it's maybe it's a prequel to those GameCube games.
But the gamepad functionality looks really cool for Star Fox, where
It-
you actually aim with it.
It does look cool, but I don't know how
think that looks that
practical it is.
I don't think it looks that cool. I hate that idea. The thing with and this is I'm a big shooter fan. Like I love Battlefield. Call of Duty I liked before it got too repetitive. I like shooters. The idea like motion controls. Sony tried to do the PlayStation Move, and one of their big selling points was, we have a gun thing. You can make it into a motion control gun. You can use it like it's shooting at a screen. It takes away from the control, in my opinion, and it makes it harder to handle. And so I don't think the gamepad is going to be any better than that because it's kind of the same thing,
But you can turn it off.
which is it's a good thing for sure.
I like that. But also what's disappointing is after the event they said that it does not include online play at this time.
Yeah,
so
that's
it's
true.
so it's
And
going to
they
be
they have no inkling of saying, yeah, it's going to have online play in
Right.
the future. It's just saying no online play.
And you know-
now.
The Star Fox games are always really short.
And one of my favorite things about Star Fox, and this is not a lot of people liked. What's
Assault.
the one? Assault. There it is. The one that came after Star Fox Adventure. I loved Star Fox Assault because of the multiplayer. Because I love the 4-player split screen. It was like it's a third-person shooter, but Star Fox characters, and I loved that about that game. I really, really enjoyed the multiplayer. I used to play it with. It was local at the time because it was GameCube, but no online, which
Right.
is fine. But I used to, my friends would come over, we'd play it. It was really, really enjoyable, and I think they're missing a really big opportunity here by not including some form of multiplayer on Star Fox Zero.
I agree completely. Another thought I had about the presentation is it was less of a video game presentation and more of a toy presentation.
Oh yeah,
They're-
the amiibos were the focus.
exactly. I love amiibos. I have 32 of them. Like I have a lot, almost all of them.
Crazy.
What is the point of them?
I really don't know. It's supposed to be for like
To
extra
use in a
content,
game, yeah.
right? But they haven't made anything really that practical with it to make me go purchase an amiibo for that purpose.
I think Smash Bros is the most practical thing they have, and even that is it's a more sophisticated bot. That's all it
Exactly.
is. One that you can train, which
You
is
know,
cool, but
Exactly. It's only goes so far.
But it's like, okay, sorry to deviate from
No,
the
it's okay.
topic a little bit, but it kind of goes in it. We have Amiibos,
Mhm.
which is Nintendo's thing. We have Skylanders,
Right.
which started it. And now we have, Disney,
Disney
Infinity.
Infinity.
And now we have a new thing that was shown at E3, which is Lego Dimensions, which they're doing the same thing, but with Lego characters. And it's like, what's going on here? What exactly are they adding to the game? Apparently in Lego Dimensions, whatever you buy as a Lego Dimension thing,
Mhm.
you play instantly in the game. So
So-
you could put in the DeLorean from Back to the Future and bam, you're using the DeLorean.
Cool.
But like, okay, shouldn't that be already in the game as an unlock type of thing or whatever? It for me, it really hurts gaming right now.
it should be noted that Sony also came out with Power Play, which is the same thing.
Power play?
I think it's called Power Play. I'm gonna look it up just to make sure I'm not wrong.
All right. So while you're looking that up, we'll just talk about it a little bit more. But Animal Crossing, they came out with a party type game with Animal Crossing,
Mario Tennis,
Mario Tennis, just-
Metroid Prime Federation Force.
Oh my God, that doesn't look anything like a Metroid Prime game. When I heard Metroid Prime, my heart stopped. And then I was disappointed from there on out when it's a Metroid soccer game that you can play it as. I mean, doesn't look Metroid to me. They just put the name on it.
Not only that, they've confirmed that they are not doing a Metroid Prime game for Wii U.
Wow, I did not hear that. But I think what they could do with this Metroid game, maybe this is their strategy. And if it is, then okay. They haven't made a Metroid Prime game since Wii. So that was like 2009 when they came out with the third one. And then a Metroid game since the other M. It's been like 5 years since a Metroid game has been announced or even talked about. So the new generation of people who are playing video games might not even know who Metroid is. I was talking to a kid yesterday and I was like, oh, Metroid this, Metroid that. And he's like, what's that? Didn't even know what it was. So I think what they're doing is trying to get a younger generation in with the 3DS and everything like that to recognize who Samus is and make them care about it. And then they're going to release a Metroid Prime game or another Metroid game for the NX, which is supposed to be their new console. But I don't know. I think they're
It's
trying to
still
build
up
up
in
the
the
fan
air.
base.
Yeah.
Because the fans for Metroid are people our age and older. I mean, it's a tough game. It's not an easy game. It's not a childish game. So I don't know. I don't know where the direction they're going with it, but Metroid is one of my favorite franchises. I was really disappointed in hearing that. And that's it.
Word is also they cut Zelda last minute for E3 to show Zelda. I think just Legend of Zelda Wii U.
The Triforce thing.
Yeah, they want to show that at Tokyo Game Show
Oh, okay.
because they're obviously bigger in Japan than
Yeah.
they are here.
No doubt.
So I don't know. How do you feel about that? About the fact that they cut Zelda U, which is my nickname now.
No, that's what it is.
Okay,
So
Zelda
everyone calls
U, from E3 to the less big in Western world, the TGS.
Well, Nintendo, they're not really focusing on presentations with other companies, competing with other companies. They do their Nintendo Directs, which they announced a few days before. And last year, Christmas, when they did a Direct, is when they showed the Zelda U footage. It was really exciting. Really exciting. Then they talked about Miyamoto was talking about Star Fox 2. It was awesome. But they don't really go out for E3, especially this year. They didn't really put their best foot forward, I think. I think that they are focused more on their internet presence, and their Nintendo Direct thing is their big thing. And they don't like doing live shows. Everything is taped for Nintendo. Everything is very
Organized.
scripted. Yeah. So I think that with the directs, they want to get more people involved, just the Nintendo people, which I think is stupid because you're alienating everyone else. I think you would have gotten so much hype. Imagine if you would have showed an extra footage of Zelda.
Just a
can't-
quick little thing.
I can't find
Instead
anything
of
about it.
amiibos. I never heard of Power Play.
It's I don't remember what it's called. I think it actually might have been a Disney thing now that I think about it, because now that I remember the two things I remember them showing were Marvel and Star Wars.
Yeah,
But I don't know what it was called and I can't find it.
Well, Sony's conference had Disney Infinity being exclusive things.
Yeah, but that
whatever.
wasn't what it was. It was something different.
Before we continue on, do you mind if I do a quick shout out?
Go ahead.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to GameZone's Fan Choice. I don't admin that group, but it's a very excellent group that I found. They're only video games. They focus primarily on video games. And since we're doing a video game talk, I feel that we should, include them. And anybody in Miami, if you feel like you want to meet up, talk to us about it, sure. I'm going to share this over there. Hopefully they like it.
All right. So our final thoughts on the Nintendo presentation. And
It's
the
to be
4 days.
expected at this point.
Should we include though the Smash Direct that they had on Sunday?
I don't think so.
You don't think we should? Because that
Because
was big news.
I mean, it was big news, but
and it was cool.
it wasn't E3 news. It was Nintendo Direct. It's exactly what it was. And I mean, that's what they did is they.
But they are lumping it together in Nintendo.
I mean, Nintendo's considering it the same way, but it's not going to be considered the same way for anyone else.
You're right.
Can I say something though? I feel Nintendo won E3 2014,
Mm-hmm.
but they have lost a lot in 2015. And for me, winning, you could have multiple winners. For me, winning is make me want your console.
Mm-hmm.
Make me want to invest in your future. And 2014, oh my God, I wanted a Wii U like really badly. And I still do. But now that
It's excitement. It's calmed down.
it's now like, okay, I don't need it. I want it, don't need it.
Because you were talking about Woolly World a lot.
Yes, and
That looks
that's
awesome.
it
That game looks
right
awesome.
now. Yeah, it does. The graphics are amazing, and woolly little amiibos. But then again, like I don't want to invest in amiibos. Like, what's the deal with me? I don't care for amiibos. Like,
Yeah.
unless they give me like extra stuff, I'll be like, okay.
So you weren't that.
But it's like $13 for an amiibo.
So you weren't that hype about this conference then.
No, because okay, you introduced amiibos last year, but I still don't know what they do. And it's been a year, and now what was it? A third of their conference was amiibos,
Yeah. And yeah,
and I still don't know what they do.
they just sell out and no one can buy them. That's the only thing they do.
All right,
the
so
whole
collector's item.
the villager thing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they made what, like 8 new amiibos for Villager, the Animal Crossing stuff, and then yeah, you can't buy Villager the amiibo.
The Smash Bros. Villager amiibo is like hundreds of dollars for no reason.
Marth, can't buy him, can't buy Ike, can't buy Shulk, can't buy a lot of these characters. All these Fire Emblem characters, you can't buy any of them. Lucino, Robin, gone. Like it's impossible. They're like, tap your Fire Emblem amiibo, blah 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 blah, and they'll put on Twitter, and then everybody's comment is, we don't have a Fire Emblem amiibo because you guys don't make enough. And everyone's getting so mad, and I was really disappointed too by the E3, and I imagine Garrett was as well.
I mean,
tell me your thoughts.
I am indifferent to Nintendo because I haven't thought they've won E3 in a while. I felt like every year their conference is the exact same. It's this is cool. Can I move on now? Thank you. Like
Right.
I mean, like it's a neat little thing for me, but I don't. The only reason I even buy Nintendo consoles anymore is because of Smash Brothers, and
Well, Star
that's
Fox too.
it,
You love Star
really.
Fox.
I love Star Fox. I'm not really that interested in Zero. I'm not gonna lie to you, but it's Smash Brothers for me. Like it's the only reason I really buy their consoles anymore. And now I have Smash Brothers, and it had nothing to do with Smash Brothers. So I was just like, whatever.
Oh, before we move on, because we've talked about Nintendo for so long. Xenoblade Chronicles X was announced for December, which is going to be an awesome game for Nintendo. And if you like JRPGs, this is the game supposedly. So, but we can move on to
Well,
Sony. or
RPGs
Xbox.
were like a big thing this E3. I got to tell you.
Oh yeah,
And I mean, and if the whole idea of wanting to buy your console is how you judge the winners of E3, I would also say that Xbox failed in that regard because I don't think Microsoft's conference made me want to buy an Xbox.
touch on that a
And
little bit then.
I'm in full disagreement.
That's what a segue is called.
No,
Sorry.
that's how the pros do it.
I like, to me, when I watched the Microsoft conference, and every one of their games that was interesting to me is cross-platform, so I don't care.
So
Like,
you don't think Halo's interesting? or-
I think Halo and Gears of War were their only two draws at this point for Microsoft are those two series,
which is essentially the same game.
which is
One's
the
first
same,
person,
which is
one's
the
third.
exact same draw that the first Xbox had, that the Xbox 360 had. They don't come out
Gears
with
of War wasn't on Xbox One. The
it had
first
Halo. It
Xbox.
had Halo. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
Halo's the thing that has saved the Xbox from extinction.
There has been nothing else on Xbox that has been remotely interesting that is a new IP that's exclusive to Xbox outside of those two. I played enough of those two on Xbox 360. I'm done with both.
What
those
other
series.
what other exclusives do they have? That
But
were
that's-
just
They
on
showed Recore, which is done by Inafune,
but that's the thing, is they didn't show Recore. They showed,
a cinematic trailer.
yeah, that's it. They showed nothing about that game. We don't know what that is. So I can't say that makes me want to play this thing because I don't know what it is. It could be completely terrible. I have no judgment
and
to go
actually,
off of.
actually might be worse than having an opinion about it. It's like I don't even know what I'm watching.
Exactly. And it's I'm looking at the list right here. So it's Guardians, Halo 5 Guardians, Recore, which is, we don't know, Fallout 4, which is on all platforms, so
Right.
that's not
Except
exclusive.
the Wii U.
Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, which it's cute, not gonna make me buy a console. I
It's
guess
also cross-platform.
yeah, it's also cross-platform. Forza Motorsports, which is
Who cares about racing games?
it's
But what they did do, I'm sorry to interrupt.
go
the
ahead.
Xbox 360 arcade. You can get all your old games.
Not all
from
of them.
there.
Have you seen the list? It's
No,
actually
okay,
pretty
No, no,
limited.
no, no, no. It's only 20 now. By December, it's going to be up to 100 and such.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't know
they're-
about the list.
Because it's a rolling project.
Mhm.
They're increasing the number.
And but see, the same thing is PlayStation Now is a thing that's existed for a year now almost.
Right,
And
but
it's the
PlayStation Now
same-
is massively expensive for some people. To pay $45 for 3 months for the games that you already own.
Not everyone is going to own those.
Yes,
That's the
but what
point
about
is-
the
is-
games that you already own?
Oh, yeah, that's fine. I understand that, but it's not like I'm saying the Xbox backwards compatibility is not expansive enough for me to care. And at this point,
That's a
But
cool
the-
little thing, though.
Yes.
I mean, it's cool.
and it's not any additional charge.
I mean,
That's the thing that's selling it.
I get that point, but here's the thing: how many people do you know that bought an Xbox One still own Xbox 360 games that don't have an Xbox 360? Not a lot, because
Probably me if I were gonna buy an Xbox One and then I could just buy some 360 games, so I don't have to buy a 360.
Garrett's.
You feel me?
I mean,
I get
now,
what
yeah,
Garrett's saying.
but
I
those games
understand.
it's not like they're making any new games for the 360 that they're not making for Xbox One that you're going to want to be like, oh, I want this. It's all old games. So, I mean, I get that for people that still have those games because of the nostalgia factor. But how many people do you know have those games and don't have a 360 played on already?
It would actually be perfect for me because I actually took a break from gaming for a good 4 to 5 years where I didn't touch a video game. Now that would be perfect for me, and that's why I like
If
the
it's
Wii
coming
U
back.
because of the backwards
Compatibility.
compatibility.
But for
Yeah,
anyone
exactly.
watching this conference, they've
He's
had
kept up.
these consoles every year. No Xbox One gamers are going to have any 360 games and not a 360 to play it on already. That's
Well,
what it
some
is.
people have traded in their 360s to get the one, and same thing for PlayStation 3s to get the 4.
It is great,
But
but
they
for
would-
backlog.
But they would also, I mean, that's the thing is if they traded in a 360 to get the one, which most people did, they also traded in all their 360 games because why keep it if you can't play it?
Right, but
So-
now, but see, at that same conference when they were showing Rainbow Six Siege for the one, they said they were going to ship it with free games of Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2, which were last gen. And Fallout 4 said, oh, we're going to give you Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition for free when you buy Fallout 4 for the Xbox One. So you have these people, these companies that are just like, oh, you're doing backwards compatibility? We're going to give you the games that you might not even have had.
I
That's
like
fine.
that.
And that's a good thing. And it doesn't increase the price. It's still $60
Yeah.
and you're getting 2 games instead of just one.
That's fine.
Bayonetta 2 did that too. They
Yeah,
released the
Bayonetta
first
2
Bayonetta.
did Bayonetta 1 and it was like an HD or like with all DLC or something.
Oh, little side note: Star Fox is being made by Platinum Games, which made Bayonetta 2. So
I mean,
That'd
that
be
that whole part of the argument's fine. I get that point. But the backwards compatibility thing isn't a draw for me because outside of those instances, it's really not that useful in my opinion.
Okay, for you again. I'm just saying in my opinion, it's a good draw.
yeah, I agree with Garrett. For somebody who's kept up with gaming and stuff, it's not the most useful thing. But someone who hasn't, then you maybe take a year off, or you have a big backlog. then it could be great.
Yeah, but I just think that people like that are few and far between.
No, I agree.
I mean, going back to the list of games again, Forza Motorsports, which is like every other racing game almost.
Yeah,
Dark Souls 3,
which
The-
is multi-platform.
The
But
Division.
people love
multi-platform.
Forza. People love Forza.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
people love Gran Turismo on Sony's platforms. It's if you are an
Oh.
Xbox core gamer or a PlayStation core gamer, you're gonna love that side's
Right.
racing game.
I
It's
like
just-
Mario Kart or F-Zero.
exactly Mario Kart, Forza, Gran Turismo, Mario Kart.
Mario Kart.
Or like me, where I don't give a damn.
Yeah, because I actually think Adrian would be quicker to play Mario Kart than
Yeah.
he would Forza.
Oh,
or,
I would.
or Gran
I
Turismo.
love Mario Kart.
Yeah,
But then, like, okay, so
yeah,
the rest
best
of
racing
them,
game MK8.
yeah.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, also multi-platform.
Delayed.
Delayed multi-platform.
It's which it doesn't really matter that much to me. That's just because I've got Uncharted. Tomb Raider's nothing to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like that's just as a Sony fan, I don't care.
All right.
But that's just me. I mean, of course, some people are gonna like that. I think that even delayed is a less of a draw.
She's just our best heroine.
Rare replay is cool. Like that's kind of cool.
Yeah, we
But
get to play
it's-
Banjo Kazooie.
Yeah, but that's not gonna draw a console for me.
Banjo.
Sea of Thieves is an exclusive, but again, I haven't seen too much
it's
out of
an
that. to
MMO
know.
Pirates, right?
It's Dungeons and Dragons, but with pirates instead. So, which is kind of cool.
Rare Replay is something you would like because it's just 30 games for $30.
No, they said that this is the thing in the Xbox conference that would have made Nintendo fans go nuts. That Rare is releasing that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
'Cause that's
true.
It's ours. I mean,
And then- and
Rare's
then-
ours. I don't care.
and
what
then the
anybody says.
only other exclusives, Gears of War 4, which again doesn't interest me that much.
And-
Fable Legends, which Fable's kind of run its course for me.
I agree with that.
And then there's some games that we got to see, like Cuphead looks really cool. It's not going to sell me a console, but it looks really cool. And then like Tacoma, Ashen, and Beyond Eyes are all exclusives, but we didn't see enough out of them to know what they are.
And Tacoma, I don't really care for because it's from the people I think that did Gone Home, and Gone Home was pretty crappy. So
I'm just like it's everything that they could have shown with exclusives, and this is why I think Sony beat them in a sense, is because the Sony had a good number of exclusives that they actually showed gameplay for, which you didn't see that on Microsoft. They showed a logo or they showed a screen grab or a cinematic trailer. That's all well and good. If you don't show me what the game's about, I can't tell you if I want to see it or not.
the only gripe is that a majority of Sony's conference is for games that are coming out 2016,
That's true. I mean, I do understand the fact that Sony's are a little bit more delayed. I get
Right.
what you're saying.
where Microsoft is like, it's now.
But
You're
I mean,
getting them
I
in
don't-
2015.
Is Recore coming out in 2015? Because if it,
supposedly
okay,
late 2015.
so but here's the deal.
I don't know.
Here's why I don't know that that's going to happen. I bet they push that back. And the same thing with all these other ones that they showed the trailers and the shots for, because if it's that close, if you're going to release this at the end of this year,
show gameplay.
you have gameplay to show. And if you
Right.
don't, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And so like for example, Uncharted comes out at the beginning of 2016, I think. They showed a full 15-minute demo, and they had even more that they showed to press behind the
a
scenes.
And they
little,
also
with
had-
a little hiccup.
And
with-
hiccup at the beginning, sure, but it's a year away still.
Yeah.
Games like this, which
But
they're
you know
saying
what?
are coming
the
out,
hiccups are really good to have though, because then they know it's not pre-rendered.
it's not
and
scripted. Exactly.
That's
which
actually really good because then it's like, okay, they're working on the game.
which I'm fine for. But the games where you don't show anything and you're like, oh, it'll come out in a couple of months. I'm like, will it? Because you don't show anything here. If it is going to come out in a couple months, it's going to be another like the Order type of deal where it's probably like an hour worth of gameplay. And I don't know if I want something like that. So I'd like to see more from Microsoft to make me actually want to buy the console rather than just this is what's coming out. You'll see it later.
Did you hear, speaking of the Order, that Sony just completely destroyed Ready at Dawn? They're done,
Yeah, I heard that.
and no more Order.
So, are we wrapping up the Xbox one? See how we feel.
I mean,
about
that's
that,
just
or-
my points. You're feel
I
free to
feel
rebuttal.
that
Okay.
for somebody who hasn't, I have a PS4, but if somebody who didn't have a PS4, a One, or a Wii U, and they were like, which console was more interesting? I feel the Xbox One did its best, and I think it did a really good conference. I was really impressed with it. I'm intrigued by Recore. I want to see more, and I want to see more of Gears because it looks like they're abandoning the third person shooter like action thing, and they're
Mhm.
going survival horror, which is an interesting thing because we need more survival horror.
I completely agree with that point. The last point. The Microsoft presentation to me was alright. I mean, it wasn't crazy. if I had to choose between buying a Xbox or a PlayStation between what just happened, Microsoft probably doesn't have my money, but since their console's so much cheaper, I would consider it over a PlayStation.
Yeah, it is
because most of the
$350.
games I'm gonna get are gonna be the same with a few exclusives, and the exclusives I really care about are on Nintendo. So it doesn't bother me that much. Like Uncharted or whatever, that's great, but I don't even know what that is. I've never played it.
You know what you should do? Play it.
Is it a post-apocalyptic?
No. This
no.
is,
Alright.
you know what it is? It's Indiana Jones, but I'm playing Indiana Jones. Like that's basically what the series is. You play as
Indie.
for those that don't know with Uncharted, I'm just gonna because I know you don't know, so I'm gonna
Right.
just tell you real quick. You're playing as Nathan Drake. He is the son of Francis Drake, who was like a pirate, whatever,
Okay.
whole deal. Like the first game is all centered about him trying to find his ancestors' fortune, and
And
it goes
Eldorado.
on. Yeah, and El Dorado, the city of gold. It goes on. He basically what you play as is you're a treasure hunter, like almost like a modern day pirate, just without the whole raping and pillaging thing.
Right.
And it's a big action movie that you play through, and it's so fun. Like the whole entire first game just screams Temple of Doom.
So I gotta check a let's play on this.
You really do. And they're coming out with, for what it's worth, they're coming out with the Nathan Drake collection on the PS4, which is the first 3 games.
with all DLC
With all the DLC
multiplayer.
and everything.
And this is a exclusive Sony.
This is a Sony
Yeah.
only thing. You're not going to play it on PlayStation or on PC, on Xbox, anything.
Mhm.
It's only Sony's.
all right.
And
cool.
it's and
It's
that's
Sony's baby.
it comes from
the way you
Naughty
put
Dog.
that made me interested in the game. Because if you told me Uncharted, like I was like, I don't care about that name.
It comes from Naughty Dog, and that is, I think, at least in my opinion, they might be the best game developing
They're the
uh,
people that did Jack and Daxter and
Last of Us.
Crash
Alright.
Bandicoot.
And
More
Crash Bandicoot.
important
Yeah.
than Last of
I,
Us. I'm
I,
sorry.
I disagree with that, but sure. But like, I mean, I think that they are one of I think they're probably the best game developing studio because I feel like every game they put out is so good. Like they even put out a Uncharted game on the Vita, which if you don't own, like I would buy a Vita just for that game.
Oh,
Like that's how
Vitas-
good that game was.
Vitas are awesome, actually, man.
Technically,
they didn't
had
talk
a lot
about
of
Vita.
They did. There's a game Final Fantasy. Well, let's go
Well-
to Sony.
Moving on.
Segway.
They mentioned 8 seconds for Vita. There's a World of Final Fantasy, which is Chibi.
Looks so good. I want it so bad.
Oh my god. Final
I'm-
Fantasy Chibi form, and it's going to be on the 4 and the Vita. Like, and you could like cross.
It's
That's cool.
literally little chibi things, but Final
Yeah.
Fantasy setting, and it's so good. I think the biggest draw of the Sony conference was obviously the Uncharted because that's what they ended with because they knew that's what people want to see from them.
No, it was the first 10 minutes where they just come out and say Last Guardians alive. Then they did Final Fantasy VII remake, and then they did Shenmue 3,
Which-
and they beat the world record at Kickstarter because they announced a
Yeah,
Kickstarter.
ukulele.
Yeah, it beat it. It did 2 million in less than 24 hours.
But
Shenmue,
It's now at 3 million.
Shenmue is really interesting game series to me because the first one was on Dreamcast
Yeah,
and the second one was on Xbox, the original Xbox, and now the third game of the series is only on PlayStation. So it's like it's jumped,
and it might go on PC.
maybe PC, yeah, but it's
No, it's going on
jumped,
PC.
It's
going on PC.
jumped consoles
Yeah.
to finish the series. So if you're a fan of this series, you have to own 3 different consoles from 3 different companies to even play the whole series,
Well, word is there might be an HD collection for 1 and 2.
which would be awesome.
don't you guys think that it was kind of? I don't like how Sony went up there and was talking about ukulele like that, and they're like, "Oh, fund this game, blah blah blah." It's like, why don't you guys help distribute it?
Right?
Well,
I
If
was
the
mad
game is
about-
gonna be huge,
They did though. They did for
No, he's talking about
I
Shenmue
know.
3.
that's-
Where like, why even do a Kickstarter when you could have just said, "We are funding Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 is going to happen."
I wasn't talking about that. I was talking about ukulele. They brought that up.
No, they didn't.
it was Shenmue.
They were just talking
Who am I
about
think- Who am I
Shenmue.
thinking about ukulele? Maybe it was Shimmy. Maybe my bad.
Shenmue 3 it was they came out and said this is going to be a Kickstarter, please support it. They also said that they will match anything that doesn't meet the expectations. They didn't say it on stage. They said it afterwards in the press interviews that if Shenmue doesn't actually meet the expectations so they can make the game, we will fund the rest of it.
I just find that kind of scary though. That I don't like that.
It's still a crappy thing to do. You're a big billion-dollar company. You can't fund $2 million.
Yeah,
I
you're
don't-
gonna ask 17,
see-
18-year-old kids.
But
to
see,
give
here's the
their
thing.
money?
But here's the thing. I don't think it's crappy because this is the way that they did it. If you actually know, he's been campaigning for this game for a while, and the Kickstarter was started before Sony. Like he's had the Kickstarter up before that conference, and he's been trying to get people aware of the game so that one of the conferences would pick it up. Sony found this out. They pulled them up and they said, "Hey, look, do what you're doing with the Kickstarter. If you don't match it, we will produce this game for you. Like that's what they said. They said we will match the rest of it. We'll pull you up. So it was more of a thing like they use their platform to let the Kickstarter, be worldwide, not because they don't want to fund the game, but because they like how hard he's working to make this game, and they wanted to see a fan reaction from it, and that's what this Kickstarter really was.
Well,
For them.
it's still a big thing, and it's
It
done.
was.
Shenmue 3 is going to happen. No Man's Sky, then they showed
No Man's Sky looks ridiculous.
Yes, and the gameplay was excellent. There is rumor that it might go cross-platform. It might
I know
go multi-platform.
it's going on PC.
Yeah,
they
for
did say
sure.
it's going on PC.
But there's a rumor that it might hit Xbox. So that's a loss for.
We don't know that's a loss. You can't say it's a loss.
Then you
until they
had
say it,
Firewatch, which
looks so good.
I'm not interested in.
Oh my god, it looks so good.
And then you had
you're so terrible.
what was it?
I have it right here. So we have The Last Guardian, which obviously that's a huge thing for their fan base because Last Guardian, for those that don't know, it's the last in the series.
Wait, didn't they?
It's a
announce,
lot. It's
it's the-
Shadow of Colossus, the Ico, Shadow of Colossus, then
And
Last
then
Guardian.
Last
They didn't
Guardian.
announce anything for God of War or anything.
Not yet.
Thank God.
I was wondering if they did a collection or something.
They're doing. I think
They're-
they have a collection coming out, but I don't think they
They're,
are.
they're
Probably not.
redoing 3 for the 4.
So we have The Last Guardian. Then they did some Battlefront news. They showed off some Battlefront stuff,
They announced Call of Duty being exclusively on
which is I think it's actually really interesting. And
timed
as-
exclusive.
as
thing.
much as I don't like Call of Duty, I think that's still a really big get for Sony because it's one of the it's the highest selling game franchise. in a
it's
recent
more
memory.
of a sign of the times of the console war because it shows that Xbox lost.
It does, and I think that's the thing because Call of Duty used to be all 360 and even the beginning a little
Of
bit with Xbox
Xbox
One.
One.
Call of Duty was a timed exclusive for Xbox. They always got everything first, and this year they switched over to Sony, which is I think
Call of Duty's Activision.
Yeah,
Who are they?
it's Treyarch and Activision. It
Alright.
depends on
No,
which
no,
Call of Duty you're doing.
No, there's 3 development companies that do Call of Duty. Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer.
Whatever. it is.
Activision's the publishing company.
Okay, yeah. Whatever it is what it is.
But
and-
the thing is, what you're mentioning right now with Battlefront, it's huge. You have EA with their property, which is Battlefront, being like big thing for Sony, and then you have Sony also with Activision. These are 2 big rivals. They hate each other. Activision and EA hate each other.
And the fact that both chose to go to Sony for their conference.
Right. And Xbox didn't have Battlefront.
It didn't. I mean, the only thing that it really pulled that was really big is Fallout 4.
And that's huge. But
It is.
also the mods will be available on the PS4 as well. Because they announced it as well.
So awesome, by the way,
So
that you can do PC mods on consoles. I can't wait for Elder Scrolls now because of that. Because I want my mods on my console.
yeah, this loses the luster for some PC gamers because it's like PC gamers' main thing was mods, which is like free DLC. It's the way you want to play your game. But now it's like, oh, I could do that on consoles now.
To be
Oh,
fair,
wow.
some of the consoles aren't going to be able to support the higher end mods like those high fidelity graphic mods where it makes you look as real as you possibly can. Not all the consoles, none of the consoles are going to be able to really do that.
Right.
So you still can hold on to that if you want, but for what really matters, adding to the game itself, I think it's really good the consoles get it because that to me it shows consoles are not dying anytime soon because now they're pulling PC mods which was one of the big things that PC had over consoles was the modding community, and now that it's all the way around,
And it's free.
the only thing that you can really claim at this point for PCs is just the ability to have a PC built to be at a higher processing power, to have better graphic capability, that kind of to run smoother, which it certainly still makes the point for PC gamers who want to say that they're, quote unquote master race, all that stuff. But I think that it closes the gap between consoles and PC gaming to the point where it's doesn't matter anymore now. It's just about gaming. And now everyone can kick Nintendo. Everyone can kick Nintendo while they're down instead of kicking each other.
Well, I mean, with the PC people, I mean, it's more of a niche thing anyway. I
It
mean,
really is.
When I talk to people, I never hear somebody say, "Oh, I play PC." I mean, I do sometimes, but it's very rare. You always hear, "I got an Xbox One, I got a PlayStation 4." No one ever says I got a Wii. But,
I want to go through some of these games still while we're here. But what I was saying, so The Last Guardian is a big exclusive for them. Horizon Zero Dawn, I think, is awesome.
Oh,
looking.
yeah. And it's huge because it's a woman being the hero.
That's not even why it's huge. It's huge because it's Guerrilla Games and they do.
Okay, I'm super hyped for the game.
Oh, I
Don't
understand.
get me wrong. I'm super hyped for the game. I was just making a joke that people
Yeah,
have
yeah, I
said
get what
that
you're saying.
not enough women are in game. But here's my worry about it. With this game coming out, will there be more kill zones?
I don't know. And to be honest with
Could-
you, I don't know if there should be. Not because I didn't
I'm-
enjoy Killzone. Don't get me wrong. I like that franchise. When it started, it was one of the premier PlayStation franchises that was exclusive. It's just that recently people aren't into Killzone as much. Like the shift of focus for exclusives has kind of gone towards Naughty Dog's Uncharted series and those types of games.
and
It's
4 is going to be
focused.
the end of it.
Well, it's going to be the end of Nathan Drake. I don't think Uncharted's ending there, but I think that it might be the end of the series with Nathan Drake.
I want more Killzone though. I cared for Shadowfall even though it was mediocre at best.
It was, but I enjoyed it.
But
still.
I love all of Killzone,
But I think Horizon Zero Dawn looks really cool. It's post-apocalyptic after basically
and it's lush like you like it.
it's very lush.
You
I
fight
really like
robot
it.
dinosaurs with a bow and arrow.
What
You play it-
Torah.
You basically play as this female who might as well be Native American. Like she's very Indian in her hunting and everything. But instead of animals, you're stalking robot animals
Nice.
and hunting them, and it's really cool looking. It's apparent. I guess the robots took over, and it's post-apocalyptic, but late nature's taken over, and the robots are super advanced, and they're like animals kind of, and it looks really good. I think they showed gameplay of it, which is what you're supposed to do when you show exclusives,
Right.
and it was fantastic. Then of course they went into the Disney Infinity stuff, which I thought was the low point of the conference personally.
Yeah, and the only thing I'm excited for that is the figurines. I mean,
That's all
I'm
you
gonna
care
buy all
about.
those.
I'm just really glad Sony, for the first time in I don't know how long, didn't have sales numbers.
Yeah, they didn't bring up sales for once, which was really weird. Normally, every conference they bring up sales,
Yeah, they
talk about how they're
treat it like a
performing.
stockholders meeting.
right.
which isn't. There's nothing wrong with that.
It
But-
is wrong with it when you're at a games conference and you're talking numbers.
No, I like that. I like that. How do you say it? That they're really see through. You know, you can tell what they're doing and everything. I felt like Nintendo, they never ever tell you how much money they're making or how much anything's making.
They always, yeah. And the biggest thing I think, really, what it was, they kind of stopped doing it with PS4, but they used to do it a lot with PS3 because they used to like to show that PS2 is still selling well and that Vita is still doing very well for what it is. Like because all of the PS3's lifespan, every conference they basically were like, the PS2 is our highest selling console that's not PS3. It's one of the highest selling last gen consoles. People still buy this. This is why you should be excited for these PS2 games that we're announcing because of all this stuff. So like they used it in I think the correct way. I kind of agree with you where you're saying you want the game focus to be about games because it's most of the people there. It's not like a stockholder meeting. It's about fans. I get that. I still think there's nothing wrong with giving a little bit out of that that way as well.
If they would have said anything, it would have been good news, and fans love when their companies are successful. So
Yeah.
I think it would have been a huge cheer and everything.
Anyway, they also talked about Hitman.
Yeah. Is that
I'm
going to be
excited
exclusive?
for Hitman? No, it's not exclusive. However, there's exclusive content, whatever.
Great, but I'm a huge Agent 47 fan. Love all of them.
Me too.
Then
dude.
the
Me too.
Shenmue 3 thing, Firewatch, which I can't wait for.
And the Battlefront was gameplay from PS4. No.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was all from a PS4.
Awesome.
Do you know what Firewatch is?
No.
Because I don't know, a lot of fans aren't going to know what this is. Firewatch, which they also showed gameplay for. Just saying. And this one's not actually exclusive, I don't think. I think this is multi-platform. But it's basically you play as a Firewatch, who is a guy who they go out into the woods and there's like towers set aside and they watch for fires, make sure nothing starts like a brush fire or anything. So you play as this middle-aged man who's going through midlife crisis, goes to the Firewatch, and it's like a murder mystery almost because you see these two girls and they get kidnapped, and it's really interesting. The way that they set it up it looks really suspenseful. Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I'm really excited for it because I really love that type of game. Final
And
Fantasy VII
Are
remake.
most of these games coming out this year for Sony?
No.
No, most of them are going to come out like early
2016?
2016.
Heard.
Final Fantasy VII remake, which I think we're not going to see for like 2 years, but whatever. That
Might not come out for 4 years.
Final
Knowing
Fantasy
them.
VII still it being not remastered, it's being remade, built from the ground up. That is so exciting. It's like it is borderline Half-Life 3
Yeah.
level of excitement because
Yeah.
Consider one of the
it's something
greatest
people
games
have been wanting
ever.
forever.
They've been wanting it since PS3 debuted with that little
Tech demo.
Yeah.
It teased fans and I can't wait. Obviously, Uncharted 4 They also showed a lot of Assassin's Creed Syndicate,
Don't care.
Call of Duty,
It actually looked cool. There was superpowers.
Street Fighter 4, which is PS4
Five.
exclusive.
Yeah.
Street Fighter
5,
Five.
Yes,
which is a PS4 exclusive. for
Birdie looked like
consoles.
crap.
They did some other like just smaller stuff, but the other big thing was Dreams, which I think is really interesting.
Media Molecule's newest IP.
Yeah, Media Molecule. For those that don't know, they did Little Big Planet, which
Yeah.
is, by the way, fantastic. If you ever get
And
a
they
chance
did
to have that,
Tearaway.
and they did Tearaway. They did Mod Nation Racers.
No, Mod Nation Racers was another company.
I thought it
United
was-
Front Games. I
Oh,
think.
whatever. Anyway, I thought they did.
I know
it
more
too.
than you.
Whatever. Who cares? Dreams still. I don't know how to feel about Dreams yet.
We didn't see a lot. We just saw claymation.
But that's the thing, is that's what the game is. It's not, there's no story, there's no structure. It's literally Dreams. The common, from what we can understand,
Yeah.
the principle is you go into this dream world where it's your dream, and you're allowed to create. Like you paint. It's like basically like Microsoft Paint almost, where you paint characters and all, you use it to create this world. And like if you want them to move or to talk, you do motion capture. You make them move how you want to, kind of like the stick figure animations, like Pivot and stuff like that.
Right.
And then you can go and explore other people's dreams. It's really abstract, but it looks so good.
There's something else about the Sony's E3 that I just realized right now. They didn't bring up one remaster
It didn't.
versus Xbox One, who's talking about backwards compatibility and remastering Gears of War 1, which is an Ultimate Edition. Okay, but see, that's the thing. Like you have one company that's trying to use the past to save it, and you have one company
That's
that's
just pushing
using
forward.
that's using the future to show why it's better. So you have literally one looking to the past and one looking to the future.
And then one doesn't care. Nintendo. That's the
One
that just comes
never
down to-
left. One has never left the past. But
It's so sad.
I think that's
But
kind of
Sony won.
telling. I think that's kind of telling that Sony is obviously ahead at the very least, because
I think Sony won. However, I cannot stress enough that Xbox did a good job.
There you go then.
I feel Xbox did it did a way better job than EA and Nintendo.
I am excited. I did forget to bring this up. Mario Maker, where I guess they already have it a bunch of on PC and stuff, their mods or whatever. But I'm kind of excited not to make my own Mario level because I'm not that creative, but to play other people's Mario levels will be a blast. So I'm excited for that for Nintendo. But other than that, it's just like whatever.
no, I think that Sony won in the end. I wasn't really as impressed with, as obviously as you were with Microsoft, because I just think that they didn't show anything that makes me want to buy their system.
I think Star Wars won.
But which is funny because I don't think EA won. I think that if you really have to pick a winner, it's Ubisoft, because their conference
EA
blew
was
it
mentioning
away.
mobile gaming. Go to hell.
Oh, one of the other things that didn't come up in any of the, I just want to talk about this because this game I really
Yeah.
can't wait for. I think it
Doom.
came off in the, not even that.
Oh.
It came off in the Ubisoft conference.
Rainbow Six,
No,
Ghost Recon.
no, For Honor. For Honor looks so good.
Dude, you could play either a Viking, a knight, and a,
A
samurai.
All
It's-
right, I'm in.
It's basically like Gears of War. It's third person, like 4v4, but you're playing with an army, right? So you play as the heroes, the guys that are
Right.
real, and then you have a bunch of little like bots that are, you can just slice through because they're like little minions basically.
right.
But it's 4 heroes
Kind
on
of like
each
Dynasty
side.
Warriors.
Kind of, yeah. And it's 4 heroes on each side, and the
It is
gameplay looks
Dynasty Warriors.
fantastic. It's like Gears mixed with Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah,
Cool.
Because it's the
but the
4-player multiplayer.
graphics are amazing.
And the way that you fight is really interesting. You use the right stick to go into 3 different stances.
Mhm.
You either block left, block right, or block forward, and that's the way you also attack. So you have to match the opponent's attack, because if they're attacking to the right and you're not blocking right, you're going to get hit.
Right.
But at the same time, to attack them, you have to open yourself up. So it's a really cool like rock paper scissors game.
it's really meta.
It looks so good. I just can't wait for that game.
Really
I've been
awesome.
waiting for a really good like true medieval game, and they kind of, that's another completely different thing. But Kingdom Come Deliverance, I can't wait for. But that's
Oh,
completely
then they
different
announced
discussion.
Kingdom Hearts. We didn't talk about that.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
they did.
They announced
showed
it.
gameplay.
They announced it last E3,
Okay.
but they showed an updated
no,
trailer.
but Square Enix own conference. They showed it. They showed new gameplay footage.
I wasn't like full gameplay. It was like a trailer of gameplay footage. But yeah, it was kind of gameplay.
All right,
Footage.
so the we're guess
So what
all right,
console are you gonna get? A PS4 or Xbox One?
Look at Uncharted before you make this decision.
I don't know
Look
yet.
at what your friends are playing and make that.
PS4. He has a PS4. We're friends. Just
I
saying.
know.
We're friends.
Shut your face.
I mean, I'm leaning toward a PlayStation, if I have to say. But you know, I'm pretty happy with my Wii U at this point. I got to get something for Battlefront because I was actually about to say we were all going to ask what was our favorite thing about it, E3, and mine was Battlefront. Just the 5-minute gameplay was really cool to see, and you saw Luke in with his green lightsaber
And-
on Hoth.
And
Yeah.
Kind of
Vader.
confusing, but awesome.
Also, not to mention the fact
But
that
they're gonna do like heroes calling in heroes. That's
like the
that's
old
thing.
Battlefronts.
Mhm.
Not to mention the fact that Battlefront gets, I'm pretty sure it gets exclusive content on the PS4. Just
All
saying.
right. I mean,
Just more things to go
that
that
was
way with.
that was the game I was most excited about, and I mean, so I'm all about Battlefront. What about you guys? Game you were excited
Uncharted
about?
4 by far.
Fallout 4 or Doom. Can't decide which.
I'm
And
I'm
Doom just looks
so-
brutal, bro.
I love Doom.
Brutal.
I'm
I
so
love
ready
it.
for
no,
Fallout.
not like brutal isn't bad. I meant like gory.
Yeah,
Like,
it needs to be. I can't wait to use my chainsaw on demons.
I can't wait for Uncharted 4.
Because
The one thing-
Doom 3 was so bad.
The one thing I
I
will say,
like Doom 3.
I didn't like it.
the one thing I will say, and this is, I'm not a big Fallout guy, but the way that they have that creation system to build like your own like almost like community, I can't wait for Elder Scrolls now because I hope that system is in there because I want to build my own castle in my own town and just it'd be great. Ugh. That's the one good thing about Fallout. When I watched it, I was like, this better come to Elder Scrolls. Oh my god, I wanted it so bad.
All right,
I think we're done.
I think that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Ricky, Ricardo, any final thoughts?
Ricky Ricardo.
I'm disappointed in Nintendo because that's the one that's what I like, and I mean, I was just disappointed in Nintendo, but I was excited for Sony, and I was pretty hyped for Microsoft too. But it's all about that Battlefront.
Yep. You? Had a-
Uncharted 4, Sony for life. Done.
All right, and that was it, folks. This was our first ever. Like, is this exclusively on on the YouTube channel now?
No, we're gonna put it. I mean, I don't know.
We're gonna put it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah, but it's not gonna go on the website, right?
Yeah,
it's, it's our own thing.
It's going everywhere.
no.
Of course, it's going everywhere, but you can only find it on YouTube on our channel, right?
I don't know. We'll figure that out. So disregard this whole last 2 minutes, and well, we're gonna figure all that out.
We'll edit it in post.
We're gonna try to put it in a few different
It's
places.
live stream.
Shut your face.
We can't edit things that are going on right now in life. You can't edit life,
Watch
which is
me.
exactly what your mom said.
Wouldn't it be amazing if life was like a movie, and then you could say something like, "Nah, cut. I'm gonna redo that again. Just retry it again." But
I would have gone late a lot more.
I think we all would.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.